And hello and welcome everyone to the comic multiverse where the worlds of nerd meet. As always, I'm your host Joel. For my last full day on location here in Victoria, I'll be flying back to Ontario tomorrow night.
You're going back to the big city.
To the big city. Well, I say big city, but this is a bigger city that I stay in. When I am back home in Ontario, I live in the bumfuck country. It is called that, by the way. I don't know why I moved there.
For the interesting people you meet with eye
Oh,
patches.
oh, so interesting. But yes, I've had many an adventure out here. It's been fun. What have you been up to, Matt?
Not really a lot. We're in the middle of like holidays from like my college and everything, so I've just
Yeah.
been sort of catching up on projects and stuff and all that sort of stuff, catching up with stuff on reviews since I'm behind on quite a few.
Nice, nice. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
It's always nice to have some time to catch up on stuff. I'm behind on stuff since I'm out here. Can you believe I haven't seen the last episode of Westworld yet? I don't know what people were upset about.
Really, people were upset?
Yeah, some people didn't like it. I don't know. I mean, I've been enjoying this season so far. They'd have to really do something to make me not like it.
I enjoyed it.
Well, then if you liked, I'm probably going to like it too, because we like a lot of the same things. I'll be happy to get back to my console and play some bit more video games. Although since I've been out here, I've been forced to really get into Steam, and the Steam summer sale was on, so I got some great games at great prices.
Do have to warn you though, those Steam summer sales they become a curse.
They get you. Oh, I bet they get you. I had to watch myself. I'm like, no, Joel, it's your birthday on the 16th. No, don't go spending too much money because you might want to spend something else, and you might but Way of the Samurai is only $8. Darkest Dungeon and Chroma Squad must have. And I did, and it's fun.
And they're both good games.
They're both really good games. I got to get back to streaming more. I actually found out because obviously we do our show via OBS, but there is like a Twitch stream version of OBS. That way you can get like your little cup for the bits and everything, like real big boy streamers,
Oh wow, that's cool.
like what they have. So I was trying to get that doing, and like also you can get the chat and put it on your window, but that's always so confusing to me because I'm not looking at the OBS window when I play. I'm looking at the game window, and there's
Yeah,
a lot about streaming I don't know yet. I see why people that's their job and that takes up like a whole day.
yeah. You can't do it as like I'll just do it for like 15 minutes or so.
Exactly. Also, my hair isn't colorful enough. My hair is only brown. I
Yeah,
need to dye it an
you
interesting color.
reference the color book and then choose the brightest neon color.
That works for you. What's the brightest shade that works for you? Although I will say my beard is getting to the length now that, I could dye it crazy colors and keep my hair just normal.
There you go. You could be that crazy Twitch streamer with the colorful beard.
I could be that guy. It's a growth market. Also, my beard's getting long enough too. I could bet it on things where it's like, Matt, I think you're wrong. I believe so strongly in this. I bet my beard. If I'm wrong, I have to cut it. Chin beards are like Dothraki braids for internet personalities. I have never been defeated in a flame war, and so my beard has only grown longer. But if I am defeated and shamed and pwned, then I must cut my beard in shame. And on that note, everyone, this show's going to be a little different. There was no real news this week, was there, Matt?
No, it was a very, very dry week on news.
It was such a dry week. I don't think anyone would blame us for not having a show at all, but we're not those kind of people. We are going to have a show. It's just going to be structured a little differently. We're actually going to talk about at least two of the books we read, because I feel these are big conversations in and of themselves at the top of the show. And then the latter half of the show will all be taken up by Ant-Man and Wasp spoiler, because thankfully I was here in a big major city, so I actually got to see it around the same time you saw it.
Yeah, I actually saw it at the same time as like it was coming out in the US, and mainly that was mainly due.
Right.
That was like 2 days after it come out here, and that was mainly because I didn't have any transport at the time.
Mm.
So yeah,
Which never happens that you and I see a movie around basically the same time.
yeah. Usually I'm a couple of days before you.
Usually you see it a couple days before me, and then you like troll me with spoilers that may or may not be true. Man, can you believe Ant-Man killed the Wasp and ate her entrails? Was really unexpected. Can you believe Hank Pym fucked that coconut for like 3 minutes?
And you'd be like, yeah, I could believe that.
I believe it.
It's
That
Michael
happened.
Douglas.
Michael, they just let the camera run. This was art. They weren't gonna lose this. Can you believe Lawrence Fishburne was like, man, that Perry White guy sure does suck. I could totally kick his ass in a fight. No one was expecting that. He's going all Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern on us. But yes, everyone, that's for the latter half of the show. This first half, I figured we'd talk about two big things that happened in the world of comics, in particular, two big things that happened in the world of DC Comics. We had the Man of Steel issue number 6, the finale to Brian Michael Bendis' Superman miniseries that will be kicking off his Action and Superman run, as well as Batman number 50, the big Bat-tacular wedding. Or was it? No, it wasn't. It literally wasn't.
Yeah, it literally was nothing. It was advertised to be.
Man, Tom King, if they gave an award for blue ballsing people for 2 years, yeah. Like about 2 years.
Yeah, let's talk about issue 50 then.
Let's.
Where do we start with this?
I don't even know. So for one, it's not even told in a traditional story way.
No.
The way they did it is that they got some of the best artists in the comic industry, which they came and delivered. No doubt they did their jobs. Everyone got a page, and then Tom King rambled on top of these pages for like an extra. It wasn't even 22 pages. It was extra length, and then at the end, no wedding happened.
Yeah, the way the book's structured is so weird, because it's like they wrote the story and they had it all there, and they're like, okay, well, it's issue 50, and so far all our issues that are like big numbers have been big anniversary issues. Yep. So we need to like pad this out. What do we do? Oh, well, we have all these variant covers that we didn't use, so we'll just write a story on top of them. That's exactly what happened.
And I mean, some of them are beautiful. Some of them are really good. Amanda Connor had one. There's some really nice ones that I really enjoyed. Unfortunately, I had to read the story around it, though, which again is multiple pages of Batman being like, oh, Catwoman's so great. And should I tell you how great Catwoman is? She shows her eyes a bunch, but like I cover my eyes all the time, and like no one else does that. Is she so great, Catwoman?
Yeah, and Catwoman's like, I don't really like Bruce.
Just I wish it was what you said, Matt. If it was what you said, she's like, meh, bored now, that would almost be keeping in character. But no, the reason she comes to that why she can't marry Batman is so goddamn simplistic. It's almost childish, and I can't believe it took 2 years before Tom King to be like, wait, I can't marry Batman. He'll be happy. And if Bruce is happy, he can't be Batman no more. And who's going to defeat all the villains?
I want to know where he got that idea that Batman can't be happy and still be a hero.
Also, where is that written?
Yeah. Is that like some lore or something that we've never seen?
Well, don't forget that Tom King's idealized version of Batman is a clinically depressed, suicidal man who dresses up in a bat costume because that's the way he chooses to die for some reason.
Yeah, and that's like the big thing of this issue, because obviously now Batman's got PTSD because the wedding didn't happen, and it was all part of Bane's plan.
Yeah, okay, yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute, but let's double back on this one. Also, what do you mean if there's no Batman, who's going to defend Gotham City? Last time I checked, you can't swing a dead Catman without hitting someone in a cape who is some manner of superhero.
Yeah, in Gotham as well. You got all the Bat family. You got Dick, who would probably become Batman.
Who has in the past done a pretty good job of it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you can have him be happy. We've seen that with like Superman, where he got married, had a kid, and everything, and that would have been like
did his job.
And that would have been a really good like sort of kind of like how they're polar opposites, Superman and Batman, where Superman got the wife and then the kid, Batman got the kid then the wife. Yeah.
And again, too, it's just like, really, man, 50 issues, 2 years, and this was your grand summation. This is what you had. But it's like, but Batman can be really sad and depressed now. Like, he was sad and broody before, but now he gets to be extra broody.
Ooh.
What bold new ground you're breaking, sir. This also ticked me off, too. Again, all the unanswered questions, where it's like, okay, hey, let's get married tonight. Wait, so you mean you had a venue, you had all this other stuff picked out that was getting covered in the Tim Seeley tie-ins, but you're ditching all of that to just have a wedding and ignoring all the other characters and all the other story you built up in the tie-ins.
That felt like personal, like Tom King saying like, no, you spent all this money on these tie-ins. Like, no, they don't matter anymore. People were saying they were better than my stories. Fuck them.
I'm junking it all in one go. Or what also probably happened is like, oh, well, I wasn't even gonna do tie-ins, and DC's like, oh, well, but we have to do tie-ins though.
Yeah, and they ended up being better than the actual thing.
And they, by and large, ended up being better than the thing. That was annoying. The fact that once again she walks down the aisle in a stolen dress that no one ever looks twice about, that she's marrying this uber vigilante where the law is the law and you can't break the law, but she's breaking the law all over the place.
Yeah, and that also the fact that he got like a judge that was an alcoholic, and like his whole game was like, oh, he'll be too drunk to recognize Bruce Wayne as Batman. Like, Batman would never take that risk.
What a hero, taking advantage of this man's chemical dependency. Also, way to name him after Marv Wolfman, to which even Wolfman's like, really, dude, you named the drunk dumb judge after me? Seriously?
Yeah.
People, other creators were getting quite backhandedly aggressive.
Yeah, I saw it all.
There was some really fun ones where, where he was trying to do damage control, because I think we can come out and say this, Matt and I weren't big fans of it. People weren't big fans of it, and generally actually across the board for a number of different reasons. One guy wrote there, his name escapes me, but he was a DC writer, and he's like, wow, so another 50 issues, huh? A whole 100-issue plan for Batman. When I worked for DC, they said my 5-year Hawkman book was too much of an undertaking. Nice to see things have changed since. Just the backhanded vitriol was num tasty.
Yeah, and again, he's like threatening us with another 50 issues, saying like, oh, if you just hold on for another 50 issues, we'll get there. Like, really, you couldn't have done this in like 25 issues?
Just wait another 2 years and I'll fix this. I'm gonna start saying that now every time I screw up. Guys, I'm sorry the podcast was late, but give me 2 years and I'll fix it.
You're gonna Tom King it.
I'm a Tom King this problem, man. Every time I get in trouble now, just give me 2 years. Just give me 2 years and I'll fix this whole problem. I'll turn this whole ship around. You'll see. Just what a thing. And like, you could tell like it hit him a little bit on Twitter, and like he was trying not to admit that this was getting to him, but he's like, I didn't agree with the New York Times spoiling, this is all about their love, I promise, because this was one of those things where it's like, wow, literally everyone was disappointed, because if you were a fan of the Batman Catwoman marriage, you didn't get what you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
If you weren't a fan of the Batman Catwoman marriage and you thought it was stupid, and the fact that Catwoman admits it's stupid, you feel even stupider, where it's like, why did it take you this long?
Yeah, 50 issues.
And even if you're just a casual fan who's not following any of that, you're still disappointed, because it's like, wow, really? So after all this build-up, just nothing?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, DC, like, just built it up. Either, like, the solicitation said there was going to be one. I think they're releasing, like, a wedding album for it, though that's probably going to be scrapped by now, probably.
They have a wedding soundtrack, too, like a wedding Spotify list.
Oh, my God.
They went all in on this.
I know stores did, like weddings, quote unquote, where they had like people dressed up as Batman and Catwoman getting married, and I think DC even said they're gonna like cover the costs of local comic stores, like for parties they had in lieu of this issue.
which was on the 4th of July, so these people were forced to come into work and do this on one of the few recognized holidays of the year.
Yep.
Again, other things Catwoman does wrong that she doesn't get punished for. She breaks Holly Robinson out of Arkham, who for all we know was still evil, because last time we saw her, she stabbed Batman, killed over 200 people, ran off with Talia al Ghul, which was also never explained.
That's so strange as well, because like Tom King has a weird relationship with Holly. Like, he hates her. Yes. Because he's like put all this, but then he'll like bring her back and be like, oh, it's all good now. Here's the Wayne Manor. Here's Bruce Wayne. Here's, it's okay. They don't care.
People got mad at me in the comment section for, I'm like, oh, good, and now Catwoman has outed Batman's identity as Bruce Wayne, only for people to be like, no, Joel, she already knew. I'm like, okay, then she confirmed it. She 100% confirmed it by bringing this murderous criminal into the Wayne Manor.
Yeah, and then, we find out that Holly is still a bad guy.
yes, Holly might very well still be a bad guy because she goes back to Arkham where a bunch of villains may be there, but maybe not be there, but maybe she's crazy because, like, why is Flashpoint Batman there and why is Skeets there and Gotham Girl there? They're not evil.
But even if she was crazy, why would they be there? Because they have no relation to her whatsoever.
Well, they're all characters that were in Tom King's story, because you forget that's the other thing about Batman number 50. It's a love letter to the works of Tom King because they fight Kite Man, then they go to Porky's bar, and then all the villains that he's written up until now, including Hugo Strange and the ventriloquist, they're all there too.
Oh yeah, it's him going, "Well done, Tom. You did really
Well, you did good, Tom. That'll do, Tom. That'll do."
I remember, I think I saw like an interview where he said this is like the most important comic of like the decade or something, or he says of the year or something, and I'm like, not really. Did you forget there was something called Action Comics issue 1000? And
Tom King is his own worst hype man, isn't he?
Oh, he is. He is.
It's like we always joke that this will change the face of comics as we know it. Well, now you've built it up too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Batman number 50, a bit of a wet fart. But again, not for Matt and I to be like, we told you so, but really, how else could it end?
Exactly.
This book, it's indicative of everything that's wrong with Tom King's writing of Batman. A bunch of talking that goes nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? A bunch of people acting completely out of character, and yet we're supposed to like them anyway.
Yeah, stuff happening, and then it looked like it's going to get answered, but then it's waved away. It's like, doesn't matter.
This guy, he's the dusty finisher of comic storylines where it's like, look, see, people always expect for your story for something to happen, right? Either, something big, something small. They expect something to happen, but me, I'm gonna blow all their fucking minds, man. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go the other way completely. For my story, nothing happens.
It's gonna change the face of the comic world.
Change the face. He's like, man, I'm the Seinfeld of comics, a show about nothing. My Batman run will be a run about nothing. And also suicide. That's like the one major theme that keeps coming up. Suicide.
Yeah, it makes me go like, you okay, Tom? Yeah, you doing okay?
Do you need a hug? You want to talk about something, man? You can DM me. It's fine. We can talk about this. Because literally all of his books, Omega Man, suicide. Mr. Miracle, suicide. Batman, suicide. Vision, oh, you better believe, suicide. My favorite topic. Did you know I was in the CIA? Yes, Tom, you also won't stop mentioning that. I want to like you, man. I really do. Vision was a masterpiece, and what I've read of Mr. Miracle is really, really good. But man, am I not a fan of your Batman.
Yeah, as we said, he doesn't do very well with like mainstream characters that are connected, that like in continuity and have like a history and way they're meant to act and everything.
It's also the thing to where it's like, yeah, I really liked your Vision and I really liked your Mr. Miracle because I don't care about those characters as much as I care about Batman, and I'm not as innately familiar with them as I am with Batman. Like, I'm sure you just made up a bunch of stuff for Mr. Miracle and Vision. I'm like, cool, I buy it.
Yeah, they're characters you can do that with.
Yeah.
Without Batman, who's had a 75+ year history, you can't do that.
No, and it's okay if they sound like aliens and robots, because they're literally aliens and robots.
Yeah, but Batman's neither of them.
No, he is supposed to be a human. He's supposed to be the humanist POV for the Justice League. But he's not. But you know, that's Batman, everyone. Batman had it rough this week. But you know who else had it pretty rough this week? Superman.
Yeah.
Superman had it pretty rough too. So I'll let you take point on this one, Matt, because you're Mr. Superman.
Yeah, so we got the ending of the miniseries from Brian Michael Bendis. Very strange issue. It was very backloaded. This series was, because like this issue was like, I'd say 75% the stuff with Lois and John. Like, like why not spread that out through the other 5 issues? You know, instead of those 1-page teasers we got.
Exactly. It's like it changed halfway through. It's like, no, this is all about Rogolzar and a little of Lois and John. No, this is all Lois and John and just a little Rogolzar. Yeah,
you know what? It kind of felt like he halfway through decided like maybe Rogolzar was meant to die at the end of this series or something was meant to happen to him, and they're like, no, keep him on. We'll give Superman another villain. So they're like, Phantom Zone gets stuck in there, then fill the rest of the issue with Jor-El and stuff like that.
Which talk about another, like, really, they just threw him in the Phantom Zone. After all that, why didn't they mention that to start with?
Yeah, well, why didn't they do that to start with?
Is that not just a go-to for every Superman villain that's too tough? Just put him in the Phantom Zone. Like, the fact that they never even brought that up as an option until Supergirl's like, I'm here.
Yeah, exactly. Why didn't they just go like, we have this Phantom Zone generator, it's worked in the past, let's just put him in there.
Also, Rogolzar, for being built up as how tough, world-conquering, world-destroying a villain you are, he can get trapped in the Phantom Zone, then you're not really that tough.
No, yeah. It would be cool if he smashes his way out, though.
That would be something if they really wanted to sell how important he is. If he just no-sold the Phantom Zone, Projector Light doesn't work on me. I have anti-Phantom Zone generation molecules in my belt buckle. Or something.
But yeah, we had stuff with him. We had, mainly the Lois and John stuff and like what happened to them. And turns out they're off in space.
For the summer, to which people keep telling me, no, they'll be back. They were back in Doomsday Clock. We know that. Do you know that, though?
Yeah, well, they were back, so...
They were, but let us not forget that Brian Michael Bendis came on to write Superman after Doomsday Clock was already in development, and Doomsday Clock has had so many delays right now, it's becoming very apparent that they're changing that book on the fly.
That's true, but I don't think something like that would change because it's Jeff Johns, and I think he's a little bit higher than Brian Michael Bendis. And
you would think he was the highest, but he's not president anymore. He's not top dog anymore.
But he's a veteran. Down. He's a veteran, though.
He's a vet, but they're also paying Bendis more than they pay anyone. He's getting the highest salary of any comic book writer going today at any company. So I don't know, man. I'm scared. It's a scary time. I don't know what's up anymore. And also people saying, like, oh, it's only going to be 2 months. It's going to be the summer. Let us not forget how weird time works in comics. Brian Michael Bendis' entire 2-book X-Men ran for about 5 real-world years. In the pages of the book, it was only about 6 months. So you could still have 5 years with no Lois and John, and people are like, oh, but the solicitations say Lois is back in a future thing. Yeah, they also say Superman's burning down buildings, and we know that's not true, so I'm guessing there's going to be some sort of shapeshifter shenanigans.
Yeah, something's going on. Yeah, that was like another thing at the end of this issue. We got like a little continuation of that Firestarter story where Miles Morales tells Melanie Moore that there's someone burning down buildings and it's Superman.
Yeah. I rattled quite a few feathers when I said Man of Steel 2018 is to Superman what One More Day was to Spider-Man. I think I ruffled a lot of feathers saying that, but I stand by it because the same thing is essentially done. Let's break up a family in a status quo because we don't want to write it anymore.
I wouldn't say it was done as badly as that, but I know what you mean.
You know, this is a better written story overall, but still.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It serviced the same point of Brian Michael Bendis being like, I'm writing Superman now. Oh, my Superman isn't married and doesn't have a kid, so we got to deal with that.
So he's going to be a little bit sad.
It's going to be a little sad. So that too. So now Superman can be sad too, and he can be depressed and he can be sad.
He can have suicide thoughts.
Yeah, he can have won't that be nice? And Batman and Superman can come together and talk about how sad they are and how bad everything is. Won't that be nice?
I did like though he gave us a really cool explanation of why he's wearing the suit with the trunks.
Oh yeah. That was our reason was nice.
Yeah, I didn't think we were going to get one.
No, neither did I. It's nice that they put one in there.
Yeah, maybe that was something that people want a reason. His new suit goes with Lois.
It goes with Lois to protect her, which, hey, I was fine if he gave no reason at all, because all the people who continue to pitch a fit about there being trunks, I find them hilarious.
Oh, and it's only that's the only thing they're complaining about. They're like, oh, the trunk's back. I'm not going to read Superman until they're gone. I'm like, really? You're going to read something? You're not going to read something that's been around for 75 years because something that's been on him for 75 years is suddenly back?
Also, hey, if you didn't notice, Bendis in one move basically junked the entire Tomasi and Jurgen 2 years worth of work era, and this is what you're concentrating on. Bendis just blew up one of the best status quo Superman has ever had for basically no reason.
Yeah.
And he did it full It very is, and he did it full well, being like, "I'm going to use Jor-El. He's around again, right? Yeah, but he was working for Mr. Oz, and he was kind of crazy, and he disappeared. I'm going to use him again, but you probably shouldn't, though. I'm going to do it."
Yeah, and he's going to have the same motivation he did in that book, but it's going to be
Yes.
good, and Superman's suddenly going to let him go with him.
For basically no reason. John is also going to be a dick and want to go with his evil grandpa, despite the fact that last time he saw him, he tried to kill his mother. He was leading a death cult that tried to blow up the Daily Planet. Apparently, they don't remember any of this.
Yeah. Also, John, like, I don't know why, but he gets like all emotional because he couldn't join the Teen Titans because they think he's a freak. I'm like, no, that's not why. They wanted him on there. They just couldn't because A, he wasn't a teen, and B, he wasn't suited for that. He needed a little bit more training.
Yeah, it was Damian who was the big proponent of, oh, you can't be on the team, which was also like, oh, you can't cramp my style is what it is. You can't be on the team. And then he very incorrectly recounts the events of Super Sons of Tomorrow. It's like, I kill people in the future.
No, Damian does.
Yeah, Damian picks a fight with you, pushes you too far, and then you blow up accidentally and kill a bunch of people. It's Damian's fault. So much to the point, evil Tim Drake came from the future to punish Tim Drake for what, or to punish Damian for what he was gonna do to you.
Yeah, it makes me think that like Bendis did read like just the cliff notes, or like just saw panels of these comics, be like, I'm going to use that and that and that. But that doesn't work. But that doesn't work, Brian. I don't care.
No, I'm gonna do it. I'm getting paid more than anyone. Stop me. And then also, too, for John to be like, oh, the Titans didn't want me. They didn't want me to jump. Okay, one, you sound whiny. Two, half of them turned on you for no reason. Then that team imploded after that story. So why are you holding them up as these great gold standards of superheroing when they couldn't even keep their own team together?
Yeah, they're a completely different team, a more edgier, darker team, which he wouldn't want to be part of now.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed this, but your boy Damian is killing folks again now, and he's put together a murder team. Which some people have also corrected me. It's like, well, they say in future solicitations that, they're not killing people anymore. They're just keeping a private prison. I'm like, a private black ops.
That's a lot better.
That's a lot. That's just a step below murder. It's like, so they've appointed themselves judge and jury, jailer, but not executioner. Okay.
Not yet, anyway.
Not yet, anyway. Hey, there's a reasons why prisons have to be licensed and bonded, right? What if one of those guys has a heart attack while under Damian's care in his secret Abu Ghraib prison? What great teenage material, right? Hey, kids, let's run our own black site prison. Hey, Wally, do you want to waterboard guys today? Why has DC gotten all dark and mean again all of a sudden, Matt?
I have no idea. It's so weird.
Just like literally all the books at once, they just switch, and they're like, okay, let's be dark and mean-spirited again. Like, this is the new 52 again.
Yeah, they're like, okay, you had your fun with Rebirth. Time to go back.
Time to get serious again. Guys, we need to really get serious. And by serious, I mean a teenager's idea of what serious is.
Yeah, which is black site prisons.
No more happy families. I'm really scared to read Green Arrow now. I'm like, oh my god, are the Bensons going to break up, him and Black Canary? Because that would seem to be a place to go.
I really hope not.
I hope not, too. Weirdly, the only place where things are actually being kept kind of happy is Nightwing, of all things. Benjamin Percy's like, I think Batgirl should hang out more in that book, and maybe they should be in a romance again. And I'm like, yeah, they should.
Yeah, well, that stuff was kind of hinted at in the the wedding tie-in.
Yes.
Yeah, so it kind of like came back in that. Didn't come back in the Batman stuff, but it came back in that. That's good.
Well, it is good. I hope that becomes a thing. Again, more people should be reading Nightwing if you're not reading Nightwing right now. But yeah, it's a weird time for DC Comics, isn't it?
It is, and as we say, like the pendulum swinging. You compare it to like all the stuff that like Marvel had out this week, and it was all great.
It was a great week across the board. There's just this big Marvel initiative of, hey, let's get our shit together.
Yeah, let's actually start making comics.
Yeah, let's start making really good comics again. Like a Captain America came out this week, fitting because it was July 4th. Ta-Nehisi Coates, I think he knocked this first one out of the park. He's like, hey man, we're gonna be political, we're gonna be high-minded, but we're also gonna have good superhero shit in there too.
Yeah, I love the story of that. It's basically Secret Empire prologue or epilogue.
Yeah. It's nice that they're not running from Secret Empire. That also seems to be a thing across the board in all the new Marvel Fresh Start books. Stop pretending Secret Empire didn't happen. It totally happened. We have to deal with it.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm glad they finally are dealing with it. I'm really looking forward to finding out like where that like fake Captain America is and what the hell's going on with like oh, who was the other guy that survived that like broke him out of prison but didn't break him out?
Oh, Kraken. Yeah,
Yeah,
what happened to
Kraken.
Kraken?
Yeah, Kraken.
Because Kraken was supposed to be someone. Clearly, they made
Yeah.
a big deal of like under the mask he is somebody, but then we never got to see where that went.
Yeah.
It's Immortal Hulk was great this week too. Al Ewing killing it with one and done horror stories starring the Hulk.
It was. I read that earlier this morning and it was really good.
Just like oh my god, Al Ewing, I forgot how good one and done stories could be.
Yeah, did you read Cosmic Ghost Rider?
I have not, but you were singing its praises, so I feel like I might have to. Now, I know what Cosmic Ghost Rider's deal is because I read that Thanos book.
Yeah, oh, this one's so good. He does the what would happen if someone would kill baby Hitler, but with Thanos.
Oh, no, that's fitting because Thanos was kind of his leash holder before. I like that.
Yeah. That book was good. What else did I read? Doctor Strange issue 3 was good.
Oh yes,
this was
the Super Scroll.
Yeah, and what's interesting, this wasn't an Infinity Countdown tie-in, it's an Infinity Wars tie-in.
Oh, really? So they're starting them early, huh?
Yeah, that was really good, fighting the Super Skrull and like their weird sort of like hippie commune of Skrulls that are like hiding out on this planet for the Time Stone, which was really cool.
I just read Astonishing X-Men number 13 before we started. That's Matthew Rosenberg's big reboot of that series with Havoc as the leader. And I think Havoc, more than anything, embodies what I've been saying about Marvel trying to get their shit together, where he's like, man, so I got inverted at the end of Axis and nobody helped me for like 5 years. And then my brother died and then my face got all fucked up. And then I lived in the X-Mansion basement, and then I helped Hydra. Boy, I feel bad about that, but I'm okay now. I'm Havoc again, and I want to get the X-Men back in order because I noticed you guys have also all gone to shit. And, like, he goes to the mansion. He's like, hey, kids, who wants to join Havoc's brand new X-Men team? We're going to fight crime and make people believe in us again. And they're like, wait, weren't you evil like 30 minutes ago? What is even your deal? And Kitty says, look, Havoc, I just can't show up on school property and recruit children to your team. And he's like, what? It's not like you own the name X-Men, Kitty. Actually, I do. Charles Xavier left it to me in his will. So I technically do own it. Please get off the property, Havoc. And then he finds Beast, who's working at Harvard, and it's like, hey, Beast, weren't you helping out the Inhumans deal with the Terrigen thing? Yeah, and then I had a falling out with them, so I work here now. And Havoc's like, look, man, we got to get the band back together. We got to get all the other X-Men in need of redemption. We got to redeem the shit out of ourselves.
That's great.
It's this wonderfully meta take on everything that's been wrong with the X-Men for the last couple of years, and Havoc being like, no, we can be good. I know we can be good. Please let us be good. And it's great, too, because, like, apparently new Dazzler is on the team, too. And, I mean, talk about another mutant who's like, I can be good. Let me be good.
Well, that's good. That was good. I know, like the X-Men are starting to go good, so that means the Inhumans go away. So we had Death of the Inhumans this week.
How was that? Because I know you've been following Inhumans closer than anyone else I know. Please tell me everything.
I enjoyed it. A lot of people seem to think, oh, this is just coming out of nowhere and they're just going to kill them all off and that's going to be it. They're obviously going to stay around. This is just an event for them. But yeah, this was really cool. It's like the Kree Empire are sick of having the Inhumans just loose on the world.
Why wouldn't they be?
So they give them an ultimatum: either join them or die. And that's where we meet this new villain called Vox, who's like he's one of their horsemen of the apocalypse sort of thing. Comes after him. Well, you think he's coming after like the 5 tribes, but really he's coming after Black Bolt specifically.
Right, because Vox means voice, doesn't it?
Something like that, yeah. Which is why he has a power like Black Bolt's, which is like a voice, but he's just like a precision one. So like, he's able to like make it really precise and like I think he like blows off Maximus's arm when he's fighting him and everything. Lots of Inhumans die this issue.
Damn, they're true to the name, Death of Inhumans.
Yeah, Flagman dies, Triton dies,
Not Triton. I always liked him.
Lockjaw and Maximus die.
No, not the doggy. They kill the doggy.
Yeah, they blow him apart.
Oh, they killed the doggy and the jerk brother, but they killed the doggy.
Hey, Maximus was trying to be good.
He was. I guess he was trying to make it go. That's good to know that if you like Inhumans, they seem to actually be trying to give them a real send-off.
Yeah, they really are. They're trying, and it's Donny Cates as well, so it's going to be a really fun series.
The man writes good cosmic, does he not?
He does.
All right, so I guess moving on from there to something that's not cosmic but is pretty good. Matt and I both got a chance to see Ant-Man and the Wasp this week, so we're going to be giving our thoughts. We're going to be doing the big old spoiler cast thing, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, be sure to save this video and come back and watch it later, although I don't think we'll be spoiling all that much, because there really wasn't that much to spoil.
No, not really.
No, this was very much like the first Ant-Man was a nice little palate cleanser after the much more serious Age of Ultron. This is also much more of a nice little palate cleanser after Infinity War.
Yeah, it barely references that until like right near the end, but yeah, it's more of like a sequel to the Civil War.
Yes, it really is, picking up the slack on that. They kind of use Civil War as a great jumping off point to why Hope, I almost called her Janet, why Hope and Scott aren't together anymore, and that is, hey, you went off and fought you went and fought Iron Man and everything, and you didn't call me. That bothers me, and then you got caught, which means me and my father have to live on the run now because of your screw up.
Yeah, and he basically stole the Ant-Man suit to do that.
He also stole the Ant-Man suit, which is pretty funny because it's like, well, yeah, he's a thief. What do you think was going to happen? It's his go-to job and everything. Paul Rudd continues to be charming and funny. He plays the drums a lot in this. I think he just likes the drums in real life, and that's what got them to put them in the movie.
Yeah, and I as well as it's like a good one of those good things where it's like, oh, he's been locked up for so long, he's learnt to play the drums.
Yep. He sure did. He had to do a lot of stuff. They do, like, what is it, this cardboard Indiana Jones thing of trying to entertain his daughter, Cassie.
That was
really cool. It gives her more to do. She really gets more screen time in this one.
She does. They're setting her up, I think, for stature.
For maybe a Young Avengers, maybe for Avengers 4, but definitely the fact that she gets so much more screen time makes me think that they're building up to something.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah.
They're thinking about it this early on.
And they absolutely should. You've done the adult heroes, time to branch out into younger heroes.
Yeah.
You might as well. What is there? We got Hank Pym back again in all of his grouchy glory. That's always fun.
Yeah, I love Michael Douglas as Hank Pym. I remember when he was first cast, I was like, older Hank Pym, I don't know. But yeah, he's really great. And he gets to suit up this movie as well.
He gets a costume. I thought that's fun. Apparently there was a bunch of Funkos that came out that actually spoiled that he gets a costume.
Oh, I didn't see them at all. So I was presently... I actually stayed away from spoilers for this movie for quite a while.
It was only the Funko one that got me, and I'm like, damn it, Funko's got me again. We, of course, have new character Michelle Pfeiffer playing the original Janet Van Dyne. The whole crux of the movie is they need to go to the microverse to save her.
Yeah, and I was kind of disappointed she didn't get that much screen time, and when she did, wasn't for very long.
Yeah, she's in very little of the movie. I'm like, why'd you make such a big deal about casting Michelle Pfeiffer if she's not even in that much of the movie? I guess the idea is that, hey, we have the female founding member of the Avengers here finally. She'll be important in other movies later.
I think she will be stick around for maybe Ant-Man 3 or Avengers 4 or something.
They definitely make a very big deal hey, she's back with vague, unexplainable powers. We promise this will be good later.
Yeah, she knows a lot about the quantum realm.
Yeah. Which they even say, hey, the quantum realm, you could maybe use that to time travel, possibly.
I like that little stinger at the end there. Yeah.
It's a little, you'll blink and you'll miss it there. We have our new villain for the movie, Ghost, who is not the Ghost from the comics, but related to the Ghost from the comics, which I liked.
Yeah, I thought that was related to that, and related to Egghead as well.
That was a nice touch. Another Ant-Man foe.
Yeah, but I wouldn't really call her a villain.
No, that's the other interesting thing Ant-Man does. Again, Smaller scale, smaller everything. Even the bad guys aren't really bad guys in this movie.
No, they're just sort of the other side of what Hank and all that are. Whereas
They
they would go to greater lengths that Hank and all that wouldn't go to.
they literally are. The first movie was all about, the relationship between fathers and their daughters. That's even more so in this movie because you have a villain team that's essentially made up of father and daughter.
Yeah, yeah, which was really cool. And yeah, just speaking of the father and daughter, we have Bill Foster, played by Lawrence Fishburne. Who,
Yeah, nice to see him in here.
Yeah, again, we get kind of confirmation that he was at one point Goliath.
Yeah, I like that. I'm like, hey, it was a thing and it happened.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see him again be Goliath. I think that'd be pretty cool.
I mean, he's still alive at the end of this movie, so there's a good chance he might come back.
So is Ghost. They don't kill off the villain.
No, they don't kill off the villains, which I'm like, thank you. That's refreshing. Good to keep them around. And now that Ghost is fixed, basically, could easily see her come back as something.
Yeah, I could definitely see her being worked in somewhere and as either a villain, an actual villain, or a hero.
I know IGN was saying, like, oh, could this be a reference to the Thunderbolts? I'm like, why? Because Ghost was on one incarnation of the Thunderbolts one time.
Oh, Ghost is alive. She's got to be the Thunderbolts. What does that... What?
Oh. Okay, IGN. Okay, just calm down. You had an idea. Calm down.
Go back to explaining how people can watch the seasons of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, calm thine tits, please. I know it's hard to have a new article every couple hours, but calm down.
But yeah, we also got the second tier villain, Walton Goggins, playing Sonny Birch.
That was fun. He's a funny guy, Walton Goggins. He's really good. I always loved him from The Shield and all those Kirk Sutter things. Someone ruined it for me on Twitter. They're like, man, Walton Goggins is great, but it should have been Justin Hammer in that role. I'm like,
See, I'd like that, but the thing is that there's more arms dealers than Justin Hammer in the world.
It's true.
And he wasn't really an arms dealer anyway. He was more like just like the general black market dealer.
Yeah, he was a small town thug and everything.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
I loved his gang. I loved his gang because his gang looked like guys who were kicked out of other gangs. Like most gangs have like a unifying thing where it's like, oh, we're all going to wear leather vests or we're all going to wear red bandanas. There's like an Indian guy and an American Indian guy and a dude with like a bunch of piercings in his face and like a dude who looks like he came from The Wire.
Hey, these were the only guys in the San Francisco Bay Area that answered his ad on Gumtree or Craigslist.
Oh man, Goons List, not Craigslist. Are you willing to goon small town black market entrepreneur?
You know what it is? It's that app that they had in was it Superior Foes or something?
Oh, it was in Superior Foes, and then it was again in Ant-Man because it was both written by Nick Spencer. Hench is what it was called. That Hench app.
Yeah.
Yes, oh my god, he got them by a hench. Looking for morally flexible dudes up for anything.
Yeah, must require truth serum.
Oh yeah, that's a great bit, the truth serum bit. Goes the whole movie. Michael Pena, once again, is the secret weapon of this franchise. He gets a bigger role, and it's deserved.
It is. He was really great. I was kind of worried they were going to, like, oh, people like that. We'll just play that up more. But they didn't. They did it perfectly. They
did just the right amount. He gets an action scene. He's more helpful, but he doesn't, like, bog down the whole thing.
On top of that, they've kind of like progressed his character and will progress Scott's as well, where they're like running a business now where they're like ex-cons running a security firm,
which is actually very much like what Scott did in Nick Spencer's Ant-Man series, only it was Machine Smith and Grizzly he started it with.
I thought that was really cool.
And the other two guys, too, the Russian guy and T.I., they get some funny bits here and there.
Yeah, with the Baba Yaga.
Yeah, the Baba Yaga, the Witch of the Iron Forest, the Baba Yaga. That's pretty good. The whole effect on Ghost walking through things, it's kind of clever because it's like, how do you write a whole action scene around a character whose deal is that he shrinks? Well, you got to set him up against a villain with an equally interesting power. So guy who shrinks versus person who can walk through walls.
Yeah, phase their cells and everything. I thought that was pretty cool.
They get some really interesting fight scenes, and it's funny, the big fight is, again, this is the whole movie in a nutshell. The big fight that like you think would be the climactic finisher for any other Marvel movie is itself a piece of misdirection for the bigger heist and bigger thing that they're doing.
Yeah, it was all great. Again, like, yeah, it wasn't a heist movie, but it had a heist in it, which is
It had
really
a
cool.
heist feel.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate that, these Marvel movies, as they go on, they all have their own unique flavor. Talking about new people, we got to talk about Randall Park as, Scott's FBI handler. Man, I love Randall Park as an actor. I thought he's so funny, and he's really good in this, playing a guy who almost has anti-humor, who's so unfunny.
Yeah, playing Jimmy Woo, which is a SHIELD agent from the comics,
Yes.
but in here he's an FBI agent, because SHIELD doesn't exist anymore.
No.
But yeah, I liked all his parts in the film. I liked him that he's like a camp counselor as well, and he's trying to do like the magic tricks that Scott does. And
yeah, there's a whole B plot here about Scott taking up like magic in his spare time. And I'm like, oh, that's funny, because he's a thief and misdirection is important to him, and also it's even funnier that he's learning stage magic in a world where we know Doctor Strange exists, so real magic is a thing.
Yeah, and he does it all just so he can entertain his daughter. He's had to learn close-up magic.
Mm-hmm. Oh, another thing, we actually get to see his ex-wife and her new husband here. They don't have big roles, but I like that they're still around, and I like that this movie kind of shows a positive version of like a divorced family, which you don't get too much in Hollywood.
It's a progressed version of the first film, where at the first film she didn't really like Scott anymore because he was like a bum and everything, and he didn't, because he was a cop and he was a criminal, and now they've realized that he's Ant-Man and trying to do good and everything, and I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that they're in on his secret and he liked him, and that, here we actually have a dad of divorce who's not a deadbeat, who actually has his stuff together, and that's his big thing. Like, he's not even worried about saving the world. He's worried about, finishing up his sentence so he can be there for his daughter. And probably the best scene in the movie is him talking to his daughter and being like, look, Janet and Hank need my help, but to help them might mean I have to go back to jail, and like that would be just terrible for me to do that to you.
Yeah, what's really funny as well, that sort of scene where he's sort of weighing up the options, is the scene you usually see with like the main character and like a mentor character or something.
Yeah.
Not like the main character talking to his kid.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, and I'm glad they've zeroed in on this for Ant-Man. Being a dad is what makes him unique. It's something he has over all the other heroes in the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, he has a family like that's actually prominent in his story.
Yes, and in his life, and who are in on his secret.
Yeah.
Which I think is truly wonderful, and I hope if the Ant-Man series continues, and it looks like it's going to continue, I really hope that's something they continue to focus on.
Yeah, definitely.
Hope, I keep wanting to call her Janet, but she's not Janet, she's Hope Van Dyne. Hope gets a ton of development this movie too. In fact, like the first 2/3 of it are almost more her movie than Scott's.
Yeah, she kind of takes over there for a little bit when we finally see the Wasp and everything in her in action, and I like that it was kind of like her being like, look, I could have done this all from the beginning. We didn't need Scott.
Which was kind of the joke for the first one too, where it's like, I am so much better than this. Why are you giving this suit to this random thief who fell into our lives? Oh, they even make fun of the haircut, the bob haircut, when Michael Pena starts telling the story. It's like, I'm a businesswoman. This is my serious business haircut. I don't need you. That was good. And I'm glad she's just back to her, girl from Lost hair.
Yeah, just long
Kate.
hair.
Just back to Kate from Lost hair. She's just done with it now. I mean, beyond that, there's really not much to talk about, because it's like this one just did a very good version of the story. It didn't try to impress in any other ways. There's like one really creative car chase that they do, but beyond that, it's just kind of like, it's Ant-Man.
Yeah, it wasn't much like the first Ant-Man. Wasn't like world consequences. Like the villain wasn't trying to destroy the world or anything. It's just like a businessman who was just trying to steal something, and then we had like the main villain who was trying to cure herself of her powers. That's it.
Yeah. It's in many ways it's almost truer to the comics that we read, where it's like, the world's not at stake every issue.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like the world's not at stake every movie, and I'm glad that Ant-Man can be that one of a smaller scope.
Yeah, I'm really glad too. I know some people won't like that because they'll say, "Oh, where are the real stakes?" And it doesn't have to be like that level of real stakes. There's still real stakes in this film.
Yeah, that's part of having a universe too. You can pick and choose the stakes.
You know what else I really liked about this movie, and I thought it was going to go here when the characters get captured by Ghost and Lawrence Fishburne, they seek to imply that they're going to go after Cassie, but they never do.
Yes. No, they never do. The bad guys are actually nicer people than you expect. The quote-unquote bad guys.
Yeah, they're like, no, we don't do that. We're not terrible people like that. We're not going to go after someone's family. I thought that was really cool.
That was nice. That was a good bit, too, where they're all tied up, and it's like, no, let me give you my villainous monologue where I tell you what we're doing. Oh, sorry, my phone's going off. Oh, sorry, it's really important to my dad. Can I just talk to my dad? You can keep doing your speech. I just really gotta. Where are my soccer shoes? Oh, sorry, I'm sick. I can't come to the phone right now. And it's nice, too, that his daughter thinks that his being Ant-Man is really awesome, as any kid would when their dad is a superhero.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if he's arguably a lower tier hero like Ant-Man, it's like, yeah, but you're a hero though. You know Captain America. That's awesome. Another joke in the movie too, where it's like, oh, Cap, huh? Well, it's what his friends call him, you know.
Yeah, I like how Hope keeps paying him out for that. Like when he turns into like the little kid version because his suit's malfunctioning. It's like, if only Cap could see you now.
If only Cap could see you now. But yeah, it's just genuinely good stuff. I mean, should we talk about the post-credit?
Yes, let's.
So yeah, they're doing more experimenting with the microverse. Scott goes in, only he gets trapped in there because seemingly Thanos' snap happened and everyone got disappeared.
Yeah, everyone like Hank, Janet, and Hope got disappeared, which is why he's stuck in there. And what was really cool, I didn't see it the first time, but I heard about it after, and I'll have to see when I see the movie again. But when the snap happens, you actually see Thanos in the quantum realm, like a vision of him behind Scott.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I guess this also will go to explain, what was Ant-Man doing during Infinity War? He was doing this. Why we will see him or won't see him in Avengers 4.
I think we will, because that same scene is where they mention the time portal, and we've seen set photos where's Ant-Man at the Battle of New York from the first Avengers film. So is he the hero that's like responsible for like stopping Thanos? That'd be awesome.
Oh, I hope so, that they just Marty McFly that shit, and it's like, whoa, the smallest of the Avengers literally was the one to defeat the Mad Titan. He was the one who figured out time travel and did everything else we needed.
That'd be awesome.
That would be great. And he would lord that over forever. It's like, yeah, Ant-Man, Scott Lang had defeated Thanos, saved the universe, but it's no big deal.
That would be really great. Did you see the second one? The second post credits?
I had to leave. What was the second one?
It's people think it's a really funny thing, but it's actually quite creepy. It's like it's just the ant playing the drums, but like in the background, I think it was the background or the foreground, there's the TV with like the emergency broadcast like sound, and because of the snap and everything, and the ant's just going about its day. It's kind of creepy.
Yeah, that does sound creepy. That sounds very like Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, do we really have anything more to say about Ant-Man? Ant-Man Wasp was good. It was a fun time, summer movie, blockbuster type thing. Didn't change the world. We're not going to be talking about it forever like we were in Infinity War, but it was good. It's a nice place in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, builds on the first one.
Yeah, as you said, palate cleanser after Infinity War.
Yeah. If you were one of those people who was like, oh, I took my kids to Infinity War, but it was way too dark and scary or something, take them to Ant-Man and Wasp. They'll probably enjoy it more.
They will.
Yeah. Any closing thoughts, Matt? Anything at all? I know it's a shorter one this week, everyone. That's just kind of the week it turned out to be. There just wasn't as much news.
Yeah, no, I don't really have any closing thoughts, though. Yeah.
Yeah, me either. I guess thank you, everyone, for listening. We always appreciate it. If you're a patron, you'll get to listen to this first before anyone else. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month if you're not already. We really appreciate it. It's what allows me to pay Matt and keep the podcast up on SoundCloud, which I usually try and upload the next day after the podcast goes live on Wednesday. You can download, you can carry it around with you wherever you go.
Yep.
I'm going to be traveling tomorrow, so I'm going to need all the entertainment I can for traveling. I got like a 6-hour flight ahead of me.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, well, because Canada's a big country, and I'm literally traveling from one end to the other
To the other, yeah.
of this big ass country of mine. Oh, and I got to take little people with me too, so we got to figure out how that one's gonna work. I'm also playing chauffeur as well.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be fun, and then I got to show up in Toronto, and I'm thinking where it's like, well, there's gonna be no place for me to stay because I got to drop the kids off at my grandparents, to where I'm like, okay, am I gonna pay $74 for an Uber to take me home? I just might. Here's a crazy thing about Victoria, is I found out there's no Ubers or Lyfts in Victoria. They're one of the only provinces that actively fought against ride sharing.
Wow.
Yeah, they actively fought against it.
What is that? Where like all the cab companies are based or something? Or?
I'm sure it's some sort of hippy dippy thing. Like they either don't like the politics of the two companies, or they don't like the idea of cabbies going out of work. I don't quite understand it, but yeah, it's like the only province where we don't have ride sharing.
Wow, that's cool. That's so weird and cool, and because we sort of had sort of the same thing as well, but they like got steamrolled and be like, no, we're getting Uber, we need it.
I guess they like couldn't buy the politicians around here, because that's usually what Uber and Lyft do. They have the money to be like, hey, Mr. Lobbyist, guess what we want? We want it here and we want it now. Oh, also too, here's a funny story. So we went for dim sum today, which is like Chinese brunch, and that was really good because they got these delicious pork buns that I love so much. But we also ended up catching the tail end of the Victoria Gay Pride Parade. And everyone's throwing stuff around there, and I love free stuff. So I'm like, hey, what do you got? I got so many beads and so many free condoms. It was amazing.
Oh, we know what the condoms aren't going to get used. So.
well, that was the joke I was working on there. It's like, well, thanks, Gay Pride Parade, for assuming I'm going to have way more sex than I actually am. Everyone here is so nice at the Gay Pride Parade, with the free beads and the free condoms and the ecstasy. No, Joel, that was just candy. Oh, okay. Candy.
Why am I so high right now, though?
I don't know, man. Oh, that was the other thing. My aunt came back from Peru and had coca leaves. And it's like, yeah, it's a thing they do for altitude sickness. You just chew on the coca leaf a little bit. Yeah, I didn't hear chew. So, like, I was already in the process of eating one. Like, I say one, it was closer to 3. When she's like, you're not supposed to eat them. Oh, I ate 3. Is that a problem?
Yeah, Joel trips balls this episode of the comic multiverse.
She's like, I don't think it's going to be a problem, but watch out for rapid heart rate, and your tongue is probably going to be numb for a bit. Yeah. It is. I also have this overwhelming need to go steal some car stereos.
Why are there ninjas on the lawn?
I don't know, man, but that little guy in the white suit hasn't done anything yet. And when he does, it's gonna be awesome. And on that note, everyone, I think we can officially bring this ridiculous episode to an end.
I think we can.
Thank you, everyone. As always, be sure to follow Matt and myself on Twitter. You can find me on @CapeJoel and Matt at...
Matt_FOS. They're right below our pictures right here.
Oh, shit. So there you go, everyone. Thank you so much. We'll be back again. Same comic multiverse time, same comic multiverse place. So until then, bye-bye.
Bye.